So do you love Singapore? That was what the psychologist asked me during the rehabilitation when I was in detention in Singapore. So do you love Singapore? So I said, yes, I do. And he asked me, do you love Australia? And I said, yeah, I do. Bullshit, he said. How can you love two countries at the same time? So I asked him, do you love your mother? He said, yeah. Do you love your wife? He said, yeah. Bullshit, I said. How can you love two people at the same time? So he said, so different kind of love. I said, yeah, different kind of love. Singapore is like my mother. This is where I was born. That's where I grew up. Primary school, secondary school, pre-U national service, 2.5 years in the army. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up. My formative years, the values that I was inculcated with, mainly in Singapore. Of course, after that, I lived in the US, in Malaysia, and then in Australia. And Australia is where I choose to live. This is where I choose to live. So, of course, I love both. I love both. And why will I not love Australia? At a time when I was facing so much difficulties, that for years, I faced the power of the PP state. The media, I was being attacked, abused daily for, especially in 2002, months and months, like almost every day, you'll have some crazy stories about me. The media, the police, all the intimidation, the organizations. At the time when I was facing so much difficulties with the PAP government, until I had to leave, and I came to Australia, and the Australian government knew who I was, knew what I was discussing in Singapore, and the difficulties I was facing. And what they chose to do was to accept me. They accepted me warts and all. I was not rich. When we arrived in 2002, I was with my wife and 4 children, and I had $3,200. I was having so much difficulties with the PAP government. A lot of crazy media reports. We can talk about crazy media reports that also happened a few years later, right? But so many things that happened. And at a time when I was at my weakest, at a time when the country of my birth was the government of the country of my birth was persecuting me, at a time when I had nothing to offer, Australia had out its hand and took me in and stood by me. How can you not love that? How can you not love someone, a society, a country that stood by you, even when you had nothing to gain from you? How can you not want to contribute to that society back? To contribute back to that society when you were so weak and it supported you and it helped you. It helped you, right? How can you not love that? How can you not want to give back? So do I love Singapore? Yes, I do. I was born in Singapore. Do I love Australia? Yes, I do. Australia took me in, and this is where I choose to live.